This is the homework for fingerspelling. Hi, my name is Lorene Obermiller, and I grew up in a deaf family back in Sars Creek. It's near the Flint Deaf Institute. You know, often growing up in a deaf family, I really didn't understand the rules of name signs when it came to name signs, the rules for name signs. And I noticed that, if the name had more than 4 letters, then it would normally be given a name sign. If not, then it was normally fingerspelled. I'm among 5 children. My first brother who's hearing, his name is David. Next would be me, Lauren, or Lorene. Third would be Kathy. Next would be my other sister who's deaf, and last would be Chad. And I didn't realize that name signs actually had a rule, and that was just part of the culture. So my brother David, he's hearing, and my sister and myself included are deaf, and the last 2 are hard of hearing, and all of us sign. And people ask how do we identify ourselves? What label do we put when it comes to being deaf or being hearing? The answer is always more family. My father, has 3 deaf brothers. Now, these 3, all boys, and then I have one aunt. And she moved to work at a factory. And my uncle, who's deaf, has 2 children. Another uncle, he has 3 boys that are hearing. My family's very mixed, either there's 3 or there's 2 children in the family. So one of my cousins has 3, and I have 3 children. So basically in our family history, there's always been same mischievousness, especially among my 6 cousins. Man, are they mischievous. Their behavior, goofing off, being silly at the Institute, has always been the same as me and my siblings. So my first cousin graduated in 1979, then Kathy in 91, I was in 93, and then I think it was 1978 who graduated. But anyways, all different years that we were there, but the mischievousness still was present. So back and forth, someone was graduating, and when I graduated, I entered Gallaudet. Some time had passed, and at the Institute, somewhere, my mom, who worked at the Institute, was taking care of, a kid, and she was begging me to help her. And so I came over to visit, and she said, I said, what's going on? And there's a little boy with her, and my mother introduced us, and she's like, well, this is actually one of your cousins. And I said, what? And I'm trying to remember which cousin of mine the little boy belonged to. And she's like, oh no, it's not the other one. I think it's Chad's child. The family moved north after they had graduated. But anyways, I enjoy, the familiarity of my family.